Okay, so then it'll go.
So yeah,
It'll go Kabelo and then you and then me and then I'll end.
Yeah, no problem. Sure. Okay, so in 5. Oh, well, you do the countdown. Okay.
What are you doing?
Right.
Drum kit.
Yeah, I'm doing drum kit. Yeah, the first one.
You don't run the drum kit, you run just the test drive, eh?
Yeah, just test drive, yeah.
Whenever it says test drive, you run that one.
Yeah.
The ones that don't have is just explaining the object, what it should contain. So basically the blueprint.
Alright. Yeah, I'm ready, eh?
Okay, I was starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so let's begin. So chapter 2 introduces object-oriented programming by explaining the difference between classes and objects. A class is a blueprint and an object is an instance created from that blueprint with its own state, instance variables, and behavior methods. It demonstrates how to create and test objects using a separate test drive class and shows how objects communicate with each other using the dot operator. So I was pretty much redealing with here. So yeah, so pretty much as it's pretty much self-explanatory. So drum kit. So let's say, for example, in the case of drum kit, explains how it's created, and then test drive drum kit pretty much shows you how it's ran. So yeah, without further ado, let me begin. Let me begin by explaining, everything that needs to be explained. So here we got something called drum kit. So what drum kit has is it pretty much has a class which is public. So a public class pretty much it can pretty much be exported, whereas a private one cannot. It pretty much has everything to do with everything in that class. So drum kit class represents a drum kit with a snare and top hat. And then we got a public class drum kit, and then instance variables representing drum parts. So boolean top hat equals true, and then boolean snare equals true. And then method to play the snare drum void play snare. So that's gonna be void. So that's pretty much the method to play the snare drum. And then system.out.println, then bang bang bar bang, and then method to play the top hat symbol. So void play top hat, then system.out.println ding ding dot ding. Then yeah, that's pretty much the like freaking drum kit there. And then you got the package chapter 2 dot extra work, then public class drum kit test drive, then main method entry point of the program, then public static void, and then you got main string empty square brackets, and then arguments, then creates a drum kit object, and then drum kit d equals new drum kit. So that's pretty much what it is, and then play the snare drum if it is available. Then if the snare strict operand operator true, then we got then deep dot play snares can be played empty brackets. Then disable the snare drum. Then snare d dot snare equals false. Then play the top hat symbol if it is available. Then if d equals d dot top hat strict operand true, then d dot play top hat strict operand 0. So yeah, we're gonna play that, and then you're gonna run file. And then as you can see here, it's going to return bang, bang, but bang. Oh, yeah. Bang, bang, but bang. And then, ding, ding, that ding. It's pretty much all the sounds that's going to be played here. Yeah, that's what's going to be played. Yeah. So once you run it, that's what's going to be played there. Then build successful total time, then 3 seconds, and then bang, bang, but bang, then ding, ding, and the ding. So that's pretty much what's going to be played here. And then, yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, that's it, you know. So that's pretty much what's going to be ran there.
Okay. So it's my turn now. Okay, cool. So now we're moving to streaming song. So for streaming song class, this will represent a song in a streaming system. So basically, it will just contain basic information about the song that's currently playing and will display the details. So within our streaming song class, we'll have our title, artist, our duration. Then the method that we'll be using void is play. So once it plays that track, it will say, okay, playing song. Then for our print details method, it will print this is the title by the artist. So going to our stream song test drive. So what we're doing is that we want to test out if this is gonna work. So within our test drive class, what we'll have is our stream song. So we're creating our instance from that class called new song. So for our song dot artist, so basically we're setting the artist name. So we're gonna be using the Beatles. Then for our title, it'll have our title from the Beatles will be "Come Together." Then we'll play that song. Then it should print the details. So basically, as you can see here, I've already started running. Playing song. This is "Come Together" by the Beatles. So yeah, that's what I'm going to. James.
Cool. So for episode, um, episode it stores a series, the season, and the number of episodes, and then it stores the episode number within the series. And they've got the method to stimulate playing the episode, and then they have the display a message showing which episode is being played. And with this void skip intro, the method stimulates skipping the introduction, and they play a message indicating the intro has been skipped. And then they've got a method with void skip to next, which would skip the next episode. And then if we go to episode test drive, they create a new episode object, and they set the series number for the episode, which would be 4. And they attempt to play the episode, and then they call the skip intro method to skip the introduction. Then if we run that, it will show playing episode 0 and then skipping intro. Then if we go to echo, then it will show the instance variable to keep tracking of the account for each echo object. And they've got void hello, and that's it's a method that's going to greet, and they display the message hello. And then if you go to echo test drive, you'll see here that it's got to create the first echo object, the second, and they've got a loop counter, and they repeat the loop counter while x is less than 4. They call the hello method for the first object, and they increase L's count by 1 each time through the loop. Then on to the last, and they increase E2's count by 1. And from the second and onwards, add L's current count to E2's count, and they increase the loop counter, and they display the final value of E2's count. So if we run that, it will show hello 4 times, and then with the number 10, and it shows that the build was successful. So that's it for chapter 2.
No problem. No problem.
Nice.
Sure.
But at least that's done.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys wanna actually buy or
Want to do it?
not like continue the chapters